So, you've heard about Total War Warhammer 2, or Total War in general, and you've thought, yeah, I might want to give that a go. And so maybe on a Steam sale, or through a nice, cheap link somewhere, you've managed to pick up Total War Warhammer 2, and I thought, you know what, if you've managed to just pick up that one, I see a lot of people asking, how should I start, what should I do, all that sort of stuff. So if you've just picked up Total War Warhammer 2, basically, what you get is, you get the Eye of the Vortex is over here. You don't get Mortal Empires, we won't worry about that. So, Eye of the Vortex, that's where you'll start. Now, as part of just getting the Eye of the Vortex, you're not going to have all of these particular races, and there's nothing wrong with that. These things happen. A lot of them are DLC races, some of them are free DLC, so you'll get some. I'm pretty sure you get things like Gorok, I'm pretty sure you get him. Pretty sure you get Imric, he's a free LC Lord as well. There's a few others, I just can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while. So, how do you actually start playing it? I thought, why not give that a bit of a showcase? So I'm going to start doing a series of videos on how to start various races and all that sort of stuff. So in this case, I'm going to start with Tyrion, since you're going to get him, and he's probably the best to start with if you're a complete newbie to the game. Now I'm going to be playing on very hard, because most of the tactics and that sort of thing don't really change. If you're playing on normal, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just used to playing on very hard difficulty, so it's just my preference. Any other difficulty you feel like playing on, just no skin off my nose. Doesn't make you a bad player or anything, just as long as you have fun. So as faction effects start with Tyrion, he's a fairly basic lord. He's a good lord, but basic. So he's a melee lord, likes bashing things with his flamey sword, and that's what you really want. So his faction effects, he starts off with good diplomatic relationships with other high elves, which is a bit weird because he's an arrogant prick. The Shrine of Cain building is halved in its construction time, which is something you won't really see early on in the campaign anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Your recruitment time for infantry and cavalry is down by 1, which is pretty awesome. His Lord effects are great, especially in the early game. So your upkeep is -50 for Spearmen, Silver and Guard, Rangers, Archers, and Silver Helms. I personally concentrate on Archers, and having them nice and cheap is good. And your recruit rate for Loth and Sea Guard is +3, but yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about them. He starts with a couple of good units. Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, very good siege attacker. And a Flamespire Phoenix. They can actually revive and do all sorts of things. They've got a bombardment. Very good for flying around the battlefield. Alrighty, so let's get into it. I'll let the cinematic play, but
the Asur, an enigma to men and dwarfs who know them as High Elves. At the center of the great ocean lies Ulthuan, a paradise created by the Old Ones. But when the stellar gates collapsed, demons flooded the mortal plane. All was lost until Anarion the Defender strode forth. The first Phoenix King vanquished the demons with the aid of the Archmage, Calador Dragon Tamer. It was Calador and his elven mages who created the Great Vortex. A swirling maelstrom that siphoned the excess magic, withering demonkind. With the world purged of chaos, the elves took it upon themselves to become guardians and stewards. The twin-tailed comet is oft seen as an omen. But this time, its wake brought great peril.
The dragon with two tails flies lower than before. Its trail disturbs the vortex.
I have felt a change in the winds of magic.
Then write it, brother. Lead the mages of Safari. Bring all in the White Tower to bear if you must.
Such lore is currently beyond us.
I suggest a scrying ritual in the pool of Isha. It may provide us with the answer.
Such a ritual requires fragments of fallen waystones. Far more than we have.
Then we find more. Make ready your ritual, Lawmaster Talarian. You will have your fragments.
I shall start the search in Lustria.
Lustria?
My brother will search here, in Ulthuan.
Why do you care so much about the greater world?
Why do you not? Stay here, brother. Protect Ulthuan. But I venture beyond our borders.
And while you meddle in far-flung continents, I will ensure you have a home to return to.
So that's a bit of old lore from way back when Warhammer started. The whole thing's a lot more complex than that really shows, and it's been going on for thousands of years. But yeah, the basics are, in Vortex, you're trying to fix the Vortex, and you've got to get waystones. Now, along the way, there will be certain battles you have to fight, things that will summon enemies and that sort of thing. We're not really going to touch on that in this video. This is mostly going to be starting up on your actual how to play. So you get missions like this one, where got to research technology. Now, as high elves, you've got two what are they called? Resources. Yeah, gold, influence. Both equally important. Influence. Yeah, that wants to build an elven village as well. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's normally done in upgrades and things like that. So yeah, so that, if I do that upgrade, for example. Anyway, as I was saying, gold lets you buy stuff. So that's how much gold I have. That's how much gold I am earning every end turn. And here at Lothern, so this is our little capital here. As you can see, we've got some enemies nearby. You can tell that from their attitude with the cross swords. You see that above there. Things over there, and you'll see over here, we're not at war with them. There's no cross swords. If you've got, other diplomatic things with them, excuse me, it'll show up other things. Alright, now, to start off in my turn one, what I normally do, first thing I normally look at is my capital. A lot of the time you'll be able to do things like upgrade your capital, which is what the little hammer there says. You've got spearmen, there's archers, that's what I can recruit. Here I can recruit rangers, archers with a light armor. Now this is where you can really see, so you've got your little number up there on that card that puts up 118 gold. That's how much they cost a turn. Unless you're Tyrion, you go to your archers here, they're 59. As you can see, that Flamespire Phoenix you get 350. Yeah, so it all changes depending on. Jeez, sorry about that. Depending on what you're doing and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, what I start off with, let's upgrade you to get that'll open up more building slots and that sort of thing. So as you go through, you can open up more and more. We already have a port. Now this militia camp, I don't want that. Yes, I can build better troops, or apparently better troops, but with the way I do it, won't be too big a deal. Now, Tyrion, we're going to move you up here. Now, I don't like how slow he moves across the map, so let's light a bit of a fire under his arse. I'll make them fast. Enemy, and everyone else's animations can be fastest. That way they're rocketing about the place without me having to think about it too much. So I've now got 3,000 gold still, and I'm still making just about 2,000 a turn, so let's get some archers. I'm not going to worry about melee troops. Not going to worry about them at all. And now for research, because that's the nice thing about this little thing. We've got things like what our objectives are. Diplomacy, which we'll go through in a second as well. Technology, where we do research to make stuff better. Intrigue at court, this is one of the places where our other resource comes into play, influence, where we can actually increase or decrease our relations with certain places. Rights, so these are just little things you can kick off at times and that sort of thing, depending on how things are going. And Sword of Cain is unavailable, but where it said it's going to take half the time to create the Shrine of Cain, that's this settlement up here. When you actually build that shrine, you can then get the sword. It's a really good sword, but it does come with a cost, and personally I think the cost ain't worth it. Alright, back here, we only actually have one thing open to us at the moment, and that's Military Advancement 1, so that we can go into this little pocket here. Alright, so at the moment we've got enemies down here, but we've got, as you can see, that's our garrison. We've got 12 garrisons, so they shouldn't attack that. They've got 5 garrison there, and up here they've only got 5 garrison versus my soon to be 10. So go along there and we will have our first battle. But for now, it's an end turn, so... Oh, I didn't realise he was actually going to be able to make it that far. There you go. That's a bit of a problem.
Sunfang hungers.
Oh well. We're outnumbered. But let's see what we can do anyway. So they only have a range of 125. I've got a range of 180 on mine. So this is actually probably going to be quite a difficult battle. I've tested this a couple of times, and this shows a bit of the randomness of the AI. Every other time, they've never actually come and attacked me. They actually end up just raiding. Alright, so we've got battle map. What we need to do is make sure that we don't have too many trees covering us here. So let's see. They are the attackers, which means they will be coming for us. This is actually a really terrible map. I don't like this map at all. Okay, well, let's set up over here. We're actually going to need to set them up a bit more in the corner here, I think. Aiming that way. Our archer units. Let's get them set up. And I'll put our spearmen further out. We want clear shots for our archers. Alright, now Tyrion, I'm going to pop him about here. So we can make ourselves a nice kill zone, use him as a tank. And our Flame Spire Phoenix is going to go and investigate the enemy. And this is where hopefully some slightly more advanced tactics will help me out a bit. So what we can do is disrupt them quite a lot. Because we're fast and we're flying, our only thing that can hit us is their dark shards, which are crossbowmen. Even then, they're not going to do a very good job of it. Because I am fast. Now, we don't want to actually run straight, we want to kind of go across, because across means difficult for them to hit. Now, they will know where we are, and that's fine. Where can you shoot to? Oh, that's right. Eagle Claws have 2 kinds of rounds. We want to set them on multi-shot. Oh, okay, you keep going. just to make sure that we can get as many things killed as possible. The single shot's good if you're firing at larger targets, but we don't have any larger targets at the moment. They're all little targets. As you can see, we're actually already disrupting their formation quite nicely. So they only really have a smaller lot heading in the direction of our troops. Should mean we can take them out with relative ease. Now let's use a little bit of this bombing, shall we? We need to get over the unit first. Here we go. That. There we go. Good Flame Spire Phoenix. Now, they are automatically shooting, which is good. Our archers should be able to shoot things fairly soon. While our burning chicken keeps disrupting their formation nicely. Just lets them come in a bit more piecemeal at us. There we go. As they come out of the forest, our archers are going to do lots of damage, and they should get caught up fighting Tyrion here, who can fight for quite some time without too many issues. There we go. And we've already broken that unit. So it may come back, but until it does, it is no concern. Our archers should be able to break these dread spear units pretty quickly as well. Oh, gonna cop a little bit of fire there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So as you can see, Tyrion has not taken much damage yet. We have our birdie still cruising about nicely.
Eager for battle.
What would be ideal would be is if everything converged on Tyrion here. So if we can get at least 2 of these units onto Tyrion, that would be great. No, not quite going to happen. They're going to pull back a bit. But that's fine, because it still gives us more time to fire at them. Oh, there we go. 2 units now converged on Tyrion, though one is breaking already. Now, Tyrion is going to get shot up a bit by their archers, and our spearmen over here will get shot up a bit as well. It's mostly still firing at our Phoenix though. Oh yep, so that little skull, that means they've shattered. They're not coming back now. They are dead skis. They're gone. Whatever happens in it now, they won't be back. Let's actually do a little bit of charging here with the Phoenix. It'll disrupt things nicely, while our archers still deal with most of their infantry, along with Tyrion. Oh yeah, along the ground he is not so good. Oh, let's quickly see if we can change the formation. No, not going to happen. Alright, we'll assist over here then with our Phoenix. Get him on there. Alright, these archers, let's get the archers now firing over here at these dark shards, see if we can get rid of them. Alright, so Phoenix is doing a good job there, but there's still far too much fire coming from across there, so let's see if we can fix that a bit too. get these guys after these bleak swords. So we do not want them getting into combat with our archers. Our archers are terrible in melee combat. Well, actually, a lot of the. Alright, things seem to be going quite well. Our melee is going well. We are almost out of ammo, but that's not too big a deal. Alright, you. I've set Tyrion after their lord. He'll be able to take him out fairly well. Alright, keep firing at them. See if you can get rid of them. That's nice of their archers to help us out there. They're breaking. That's good. That little grey bar there is their leadership. As you can see, mine's nice and full still. Send our chicken back over that way. Alright, looks like we are pretty much out of ammo now. But I don't think they're going to last too much longer themselves, since most of their troops are now broken. We'll let them just absorb a bit of ammo over that side. If Tyrion can stay in combat here and do a decent amount of damage.
I have killed enough.
Now, so
Archers!
one thing you want to make sure is you've got toggle fire at will on a lot of your troops, for at least for things like your archers and that sort of thing. The other one is you've got guard mode. Now, if you turn guard mode off, you're going to chase shit down. Bad for archers. Sometimes good for people like an Aryan. Not an Aryan, Tyrion. God damn. Oh, there you go. So at a certain point, if you've killed enough of the enemy, you'll get what we call the army loss penalty. That is what's happened just there. So they all break and run. So, well, that's how you fight a battle to start out. That went fairly well, I think. Alright, after fighting a battle, close victory is not bad. There's several different levels of getting experience for your lords. So, for example, you got a fair bit of experience in that one. A lot of people care a lot about that. I personally don't. Now, we've got a decent amount of money. We can either ransom our captives, get some money, and we'll get +1 influence per turn for 5 turns, but we'll have lower casualty replenishment rate. We can execute them for some recruit for more experience for our troops, which is that's neither here nor there at the moment, not really. Or we can get replenishment. I want influence, so I'll take that. Now that pushes them back to their technically start of next turn. I could chase them down. I don't really want to do that. Okay, well we've got some golden influence from that as well. That's good. Now we need to capture the Phoenix Gate, which is all the way up here, to get ourselves a pretty nice item. But we're not going to worry about that just now anyway. That's a future problem.
Protector of the Everqueen.
Alright, so we've gone up a level. We're at level 2 now. There's a lot of different stuff you can put points into here. Simply, your blue line improves your campaign. Your red line improves your troops. Your yellow line improves you as a fighter or a magic user, depending on what you are. And these are more Tyrion specific things. Majesty of Ulthuan, Bloodline of an Aryan, that sort of stuff. Now I start with the blue line, because things like I want campaign movement range, I like to be able to go further. And I like wary, especially because the army build I do, you do not want to get ambushed. If you get ambushed, they'll get right into your archers will be fucked. But we've managed to get through the end turn, so let's hit the Tower of Lycian. We're going to fight this one as well.
Bring me battle.
Now that I've got more archers, I'll show you a formation you can use with it. that worked quite well. Excuse me for a second, I'm just going to cough my head off for a moment. Oh, all this talking, I don't know. Some people just wish I'd shut up. But anyway, right, so we've now got 5 units of archers, 2 units of spearmen, a Tyrian, a Phoenix, and a bolt thrower. So we want to have our bolt thrower up higher so it can shoot over us. Well, we put him into multi-shot. He's got toggle guard mode because we do not want him chasing anything down, and he's at fire at will, so as soon as stuff gets in range, he'll start shooting. Now, if you hold shift, you can select all your units like that, and then you can do all sorts of things. Spread them out really thin, do all that sort of stuff as you want to. What we want to do is we want to have, well, what I want to do is I want to have blocks of them like that. Then I hold control and I can select them, and then I can select them. And if I hit Alt, or hold Alt, I should say, I can then slide them forward and they stay in formation. That works whether or not you're in this part of the map or not. So when you're actually fighting, you can then go, I want to take those 5, hold Alt, move them up in formation. The other thing you can do is, so we select all of them. If you hold Control and Alt, you can then change their orientation. So they can be transsexual, bisexual, any kind of sexual you feel like, and that's fine. I don't mind what sexual you feel like. No skin off my nose. And we'll just put them so they're harder to flank. Tyrian will go up front, and the bin chicken will do that. Now, I like to keep everyone with guard mode on. I don't need them chasing shit around. As I said before, especially not the archers. Archers will chase something, end up in melee, and that's just all kinds of terrible. Alrighty, let's see what we can do with our chicken this time. Get him flying across their formation, dropping some fireballs on them. That one missed. So did that one. That's no good. But they are... excuse me. Oh, they're attempting to shoot him, so that's good. Sorry about that. Doing a lot of coughing today. It's no good. So this essentially keeps their dark shards, or their crossbowmen, whatever you want to call them, from shooting at my troops. Getting them into... They can't get into range at this point. So I'm just screwing them about, basically. Now, if we can get up over here, we'll try and drop... I'm not very good at using these sorts of things. So... that one hit, that's good. Alrighty. Now, back this way, as you can see, everything has been getting slaughtered by my ranged troops. And since, again, we outranged them really well, let's pull him back. We'll get the bin chicken back here. And now, they're going to be, as you can see, you get a little yellow thingy on the battlefield to say how far you can fire. And we're just going to absolutely destroy them from here. They'll try and run in. They might get some shots off, but no. As you can see, all the leadership gone. That's the army loss penalty that I was talking about before. They've just lost too many troops. Can't fight anymore. End the battle there. Now, the chicken didn't kill anything, but I still say he's just about MVP, because with him not doing anything, our archers managed to really slaughter things. Gotta be happy with that. A bit of loot. We gained another level, that's excellent. And a decisive victory, that one. That's good. So, here's another thing that you can choose. So you can sack a city. That'll mean that the province gets a bit of instability, you get some money, and you get a bunch of unit replenishment.
Take it all.
You can loot and occupy it, which means you will essentially blow shit up and occupy it, lowering the actual settlement levels and destroying buildings, that sort of thing.
Raise it to the ground.
You can burn the whole thing down,
Burn it.
or you can just occupy it. I
This
personally,
place is ours.
since I want to hold this area and I want to grow it, I'm going to just occupy it. Now we've got another mission. So we need, if we can occupy the entire settlement, which settlement is these three, so literally these three hit, then that is our reward. 2,000 more gold, 5 more influence, and 7 way fragments, which is to fill up this bar. Every time you get to one of these, you can start a ritual if you want to. I don't necessarily think you should. And that'll summon armies that'll attack cities and that sort of stuff. So it just adds to your fight. Alrighty. So now at the Tower of Lycian, I still don't want this building, so we get rid of that. At Lothern, because we demolished the building last turn, we can now build something here. And I want to grow my province. So of the buildings I can really build, it's only these 3 that I can. This will give us money and public order, and as you can see, that is our public order at the moment at -13. When it gets to -100, we get a rebellion. I'm fine with that. So we're not going to build that. Little bit of money as well. This is more money, and if you do diplomacy, which I forgot to do before, you can then sell those 6 chests of trinkets, or you can have growth and casualty replenishment rate. I choose growth. Since we're in here as well, and we use all of our movement actually occupying. Let's recruit 3 more archers. More archers means more death. Upgrade Tyrion. So here in our blue line, we can go for public order when he's in the province. We can get more tradable resources from things like those elven trinkets. Not going to bother with that. That lowers our recruitment cost, which is good, but what I want is this one, wary. So enemy heroes have less chance of doing things to Tyrion, and he can avoid being ambushed. Because when we come up against certain races, when they move at you, they can ambush you. That's bad. Very, very bad. Now, we finished that research. All of these researches take 4 each. And they all do various upgrades to various units, but what we want is this one, because that reload time reduction means our archers will do more damage. That's what we want there. Alright, now for the final bit we'll go through is diplomacy. Now, these are all of the factions I know about. There's many more factions hanging about this larger map, lots of them all over the place, but these are all we know about. As you can see, you've got High Elves, Dark Elves, Greenskins, and Rogue Armies, which in this case, it's a pirate. Now you can see these ones here, I can't trade with them because I can't actually... So say, for example, with... who are you? Tyrannoc. That is because Tyrannoc is here. They actually don't have a settlement that has a port, so I can't connect to them. And I also don't have an overland connection to them like that. However, Illyrian, I believe that's a port there. That's why I can go with them.
So please make your
I might be able to get a non-aggression pack, but they don't want it, and I'm not offering them anything else to go with it. So
No glory.
now, your freeze on the other hand. So what we want is a trade agreement. This means we're both getting 61 gold. It's a good chance of getting both, and the High Elves have a special ability, which means
For the fallen.
I can now see his territory, which means anyone connected to his territory that I don't know about, I can also see. So, we go in here, as you can see, we suddenly,
Can I offer assistance?
Cathik. Didn't know them
I
before.
bid you welcome to the
Let's see if
court
we
of
can
the
get a trade
Phoenix King.
agreement with them. Yep,
A wise course.
little bit more money again. And now, look at that. Now we can see
Of the Phoenix. Your word shall
Grace
reach
as
the
well.
Phoenix throne.
See if we can get a trade agreement
Your
with
will is
them.
done.
Lovely. So along here, we're just going to
Give the word.
chain some trade agreements.
His Majesty's court will listen to your request.
They don't like me.
Prince of
Illyrian don't
Ulthuan.
like me. Calador, I
You
don't have a
need me?
connection
You may
to.
approach.
Nor Tyrannok. Scourge of Cain. Are Dark Elves? I don't want to. That'll actually lower a lot of stuff around here. Pirates of Sartos are, well, pirates. So that'll lower too much stuff as well. Because you've got diplomatic relations with various races. Now, that is going to be it for this episode. I'm going to do a second part of this episode, and I'll go through more fighting and that sort of thing. We'll take over this a bit, and I'll see what more I can demonstrate in the next episode. So, until next time, hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it's been informative. If there's any way I can improve, please let me know, and I will see you next time. And if you have liked it, subscribe. That'd be handy. Good for my channel. Hope you have a good one, and good luck in the world of Warhammer. Bye bye.